There's just so much.
You're listening to a Mamamia podcast.
Mamamia acknowledges the traditional owners of land and waters that this podcast is recorded on. Hello and welcome to Cancelled, the podcast that looks at silly celebrity crimes and assigns charges and sentences to them so we can all move on with our lives. I'm Claire Stevens.
And I'm Jessie Stevens.
And Jessie, do you have a lazy girl story for us today?
I do. It begins with, sorry, late reply. You know.
Did we message them?
I don't know. But they said, sorry, lazy girl thinks.
Yeah. Well, sorry, but that's how I start every...
I think we might have been having a back and forth.
Okay.
And then I think she let a year lapse.
Oh.
And then she went, actually, I've got a lazy girl story. I'll get back to you with that one.
Well, just before we get into that, I'd just like to say the lazy girls who have messaged us on the Twins Thoughts Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for the delay. Because there is always a delay. Sometimes months.
Sometimes years.
I'm
She
very
says,
sorry.
a few years ago, I'd booked in for cosmetic surgery and paid a $400 non-refundable deposit.
Wow.
COVID-19 had other plans, and it was postponed once. I ended up deciding to not go ahead with the surgery and accepted the fact I'd lose my deposit. But the clinic kindly informed me I could use my $400 deposit for any other treatment or stock up on beauty products. It's been 2 years and I've not booked or purchased anything with my $400. Lazy girl.
She's a lazy girl.
Sometimes you make a weird note to self that you're like, that be sunk money.
Yeah, a lot of people did this with holidays during COVID. It was like, oh yeah, I booked and paid for a holiday to Fiji. And then they're like, oh, we'll just credit that.
No,
and you're like,
nah.
oh, fuck, that sounds like a job. I've got to find a time to go on holiday with money that I already spent.
And it's like, well, no, before COVID, I was the type of person who wanted to go to Fiji. Now I'm the type of person who doesn't want to do shit.
And what I love about this too is that it brings into question the lazy girl's approach to cosmetic surgery. Because there is something very unlazy about doing anything. And anything cosmetic, even like needling, I'm always like, oh, that would be good. But then you've got to go to a thing. And I think there's like downtime.
What it shows is the impulsiveness of lazy girls. I'll book it and I'll get it now. Do you want it now, a year later? No, not
Absolutely
so much.
not. Actually, I've changed my mind.
Not so much.
Can't be bothered.
Sorry. Jessie, on today's episode, we are talking about a bit of a lazy girl, Lara Bingle.
Lara Bingle has become one of Australia's most polarising personalities.
There's two sides to every story, and this is my side, and I've been portrayed in a certain way for a very long time, and I guess it's my chance now.
So where the bloody hell are you?
She is not going to appreciate being called that.
Well, wait for my next sentence.
Okay.
Lara Worthington.
Yes, well, she's rebranded as Lara Worthington, and by that I mean she got married and she took her husband's name.
Nay, Bingle.
Mm-hmm.
Is an Australian...
Remember when you tried to convince me it was Nee?
No, you tried to convince me it was Nee. Oh, my God, maybe I adopted
I think it's
yours.
Nee.
Is it? Oh, shit.
A word from French meaning born, indeed in French. How do you say it? No, it is not nee, but rather nay.
So you say nay, I say nee. I think if we remember, which we likely won't, I think we should do a poll because this keeps coming up.
It does keep
and neither
coming
of us
up.
truly get to the bottom of it.
No. But she is an Australian model and media personality. She launched to fame in 2006, appearing in a $180 million...
Where the bloody hell are you?
Yes, Tourism Australia ad.
We bought you a beer.
And we've had the camels shampooed. We've saved you a spot on the beach. So where the bloody hell are you?
It was created by an advertising agency under the approval of Scott Morrison,
I remember that. Yeah.
friend of the Cancel Courtroom,
Yes.
who was then managing director of Tourism Australia.
Mm.
The campaign was very controversial. And in 2007, it was banned by the Advertising Authority in the UK, which wouldn't allow the word bloody in television versions of the commercial.
It's like, 9-year-olds watching porn. And the word bloody is upsetting.
Bloody. I feel like that's ScoMo's fault. I think he stuffed up.
The first of many in ScoMo's career.
They even had roadside billboards taken down, and Tourism Australia was warned to refrain from using profanity in future billboards. I love when ScoMo gets in trouble.
What a waste of money.
But bloody.
Oh, we say bloody all the time.
Bloody King Charles said bloody thing.
Bloody thing, King
Yeah.
Charles.
Yeah.
And you have the hide to say we can't say where the bloody hell are you?
We don't know where the bloody hell we are. But this isn't about ScoMo. Lara has been featured on the cover of Australian Harper's Bazaar, Elle, Grazia, Oyster and Clio, and has also appeared in episodes of Home and Away, as well as The Celebrity Apprentice Australia.
No, that's not what's the most famous television
And
show.
Australia's Next Top Model.
Yep.
In 2011, she had her very own reality show.
Yes, I know. I watched every episode.
Being Lara Bingle,
Being Lara Bingle premieres 8 o'clock Tuesday on 10.
which we'll get to. In 2014, she started a tanning range called The Base,
I've heard good things.
which has now evolved into a non-profit beauty brand called Share the Base. It
Don't understand.
No, it
Cool.
looks pretty on
Does the tan
Instagram.
work?
No, well, on her, it bloody looks great.
Okay.
She has 3 sons with actor Sam Worthington, Rocket, Racer, and River.
Oh,
So there you go.
Got a theme.
Yes. But you can't make the best reality show in Australian history and expect us not to take it to court. You can't repeatedly be a terrible driver and expect us not to comment.
You know what Lara's been? She's been on the run. She
Yeah.
committed a
Yeah.
few crimes
Mm.
and then she's been on the run going, don't look, don't look.
I live in America.
Lara Bingle, who's that?
Yeah.
You can't change your name, relocate on the run and think that we don't remember that you got pulled over on being Lara Bingle without a license.
Yeah.
We remember.
Of course we remember. You can't think we'll forget your engagement party with Michael Clark at Luna Park. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? So, Jessie, my structure for today is as follows. Relationships, being naked at Bondi, being Lara Bingle,
Mm-hmm.
and being a naughty driver, plus miscellaneous.
I feel affection.
Oh, God, absolutely.
I feel a lot of affection right now.
Yeah.
I'll put that on the table before we kind of start with the court. Like, she's sitting there, I'm looking at her, and I remember on being Lara Bingle, she said one of her favourite foods was a good meat pie. So I'm imagining her eating a meat pie, and I'm going, I feel affection. Continue.
Okay. Relationships. I cannot know what it's like to be the hottest woman in Australia. She's done a sexy ad, and now she's got campaigns coming out of her ears. And Lara Bingle ends up having an affair with Brendan Favola,
Yep.
Pressure point! Pressure point!
who's married.
Yep.
That's naughty. It's naughtier
To be
Brendan.
Oh, I got a stiffy!
And he got away scot-free.
Oh, media's disgusting. During that time in 2006, he took a topless photo of her coming out of the shower and he shared it with his teammates.
That's a crime.
It is a crime.
Oh, literal crime.
Yes. At the time, Lara Bingle copped so much shit. There were rumours it was all a publicity campaign cooked up by her agent. Bingle sued Favola for breach of privacy, defamation and misuse of her image and said, it's important for me to try and restore my own sense of dignity and self-respect by taking control of the situation and showing everyone it's not cool or funny to send an unauthorised nude photograph of someone to your friends.
She was before her time.
She was, and you know who else was great at the time was Deputy Prime Minister Julia Gillard. She came out and she said, no, can't be doing that. That's naughty.
I mean, you can't be doing it, but I also must say, Julia Gillard, is this a point of national importance?
National security. It was. Just a week or so after that story broke, Bingle's engagement to Michael Clark ended. And you might say...
Okay, wait. So she was with Brendan Favola. They break up and he releases a picture?
Yes.
Like, what's the time? Okay, so then
Yes.
he releases it. She's in a new relationship.
Well, no. He had released it.
Okay.
He,
But when she sues Brendan Favola, their relationship is well and truly over.
yes.
Okay. And then she's now in a relationship with Michael Clark, friend of the Council Courtroom.
Yeah. So when she's engaged to Michael Clark.
Yep.
She sues Brendan Favola
Okay,
for
yep.
the historical photo
Yep.
thing. Michael Clark breaks off the engagement. Like, clearly he was like, why then a naked photo of you? Well, it's actually not her fault, Michael.
No.
And do you want to talk about embarrassing photos coming out? Do you want to talk about that?
Because we can go to Noosa. We can.
We can.
I'll tell you now, don't you fucking walk away. She can.
Because there are families trying to enjoy a nice holiday night out and you are yelling with your shirt off with Carlos.
So let's rewind. The rumours that Clark and Bingle are dating start in January 2007, and they're engaged in New York by March 2008. In April, they have a 300-person engagement party at Luna Park.
Okay, I'm going to need to know, kind of just sit on that for a moment. That's bogan, and I love it.
Jessie, who was the MC at their 300-person engagement
Carlos.
party?
Kyle, Sanderlands.
No, close. Jessie, it was Anthony Belly Bell.
Anthony Belly Bell, who is, of course, the accountant or manager of Michael Clark. He was, the point is that when Carlos and Michael Clark had the fight in Noosa, Anthony Belly Bell was there.
Yeah. And so he is clearly long-standing mate of Michael Clark. Apparently the day was quite stressful because Lara couldn't find somewhere to get her nails done.
That actually super stressful, your engagement party. But you don't leave that to the day of.
No, I'm like, Lara, this is why we always find ourselves in chaos. New South Wales cricket officials were privately fuming over the timing of the party.
Wait, it's kind of weird to have an MC for your engagement party.
Yeah, I guess when there's 300 people, you need some structure. But so the cricket...
I wonder if they got to go and rise.
I know, I always think that whenever there's an event at Luna Park.
I know,
I'm like,
it's like, do we get to go on the sack?
The sack thing that's like a slippery dip? It's like, is a free entry
I
to
can
the
see
park?
them doing that, and I can see Lara being like, can we ever go on the Dodgems?
Or the Gravitron thing?
The Gravitron.
Yes. So cricket officials were annoyed because their engagement party was the same night as the Steve War Medal presentation night.
It's a lot of presentations.
And the clash meant a number of players cancelled attending the prize night in favour of the glitzy invitation to party at Luna Park's function room, Crystal Palace. Okay? Publishers of New Idea were also really angry because they had put down a 6-figure sum for the story and exclusive access. But then there were all these details in the Daily Telegraph. So basically, I think Lara and Michael were a bit like, we'll get this deal and then we'll also get this deal.
Okay.
And that's not how exclusivity works.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But Jessie, after such a beautiful event, Michael Clark's PR firm called off the engagement in March 2010. And there were unconfirmed rumours that Lara had flushed her $200,000 engagement ring down the toilet. Can you imagine the confrontation between them if true? Now, the rumour started because plumbers from a local company, Twin Pipes, were quoted at the time.
We will link in the show notes.
Great service. Were quoted at the time saying they'd been called to an apartment at 2:30 a.m. Reportedly, a well-known couple were concerned after someone had placed something worth a lot of money down the toilet. Sounds like a ring.
Sounds like a $200,000 ring.
Despite looking...
That feels impulsive. It feels like something I do and then go, oh, actually...
I'd like that back.
Yeah.
And you call the plumber. Despite looking for this mystery item for hours and using a camera in the pipes, nothing was to be found.
I wonder if we go onto Twin Pipes Google reviews, if we'll find one from M. Clarkey that says didn't find ring.
So true.
We've looked it up because we need to know if M. Clark did leave a review. We can't find that, but just because we are linking to it in the show notes, it's got 4.7 stars. But their catchphrase is twice the quality, twice the care, Twin Pipes. So I feel as though if anyone were to find it, it'd be Twin Pipes. I mean, that's who you'd call.
Yeah. I would just like
the
to
fact
say,
they have a camera.
I've dropped things down drains and called plumbers. Never used a camera. They say to me, it's gone. It's gone. And that's probably once they ask what my budget is and I say, very limited. At the time, both representatives for the couple denied the ring had been flushed down the toilet. Then in 2016, Michael Clark was directly asked about it by Alison Langdon.
The plumber.
Yeah.
For the engagement ring down the toilet. Truth or fiction?
I'd like to say I'm a very silly man, but I'm not that silly. I'm not throwing any diamond ring down a toilet. Complete, made up, 100% bullshit.
Then why were Twin Pipes there that day?
Well, no, pause. Deflection. Mate, no one thought you flushed it down the toilet.
Oh my God, he's so smart.
No one thought you did it. You're a dirty dog. So we think Lara did it in retaliation.
You know, okay, I'm Alison Langdon. He says that, right?
Yeah.
And I look him and I go, well, I guess he just did a really big poo. Tell me what blocked the toilet, sir.
He then added, Lara's not that dumb. She's not flushing any ring either. But to that I say, knowing what we know now about Michael Clarke's antics and the shit he puts women through, I just am not surprised
Someone did.
that he could have driven an otherwise incredibly sensible woman like Lara Bingle
To throw that down the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe it.
Okay, great.
Literally on March 2nd, 2010, Lara begins legal proceedings against Favola. And on March 12th, 2010, Clarke's management announced their engagement is over. So I'm saying, Michael, do you have a problem with her fighting against image-based abuse?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I think you do. I think you didn't like that she sued Brendan Favola.
I'm a very silly man.
What I will say, Michael Clarke, he is not the one on trial today. We've put him on trial. He's been charged. He's been sentenced. We've closed the book. He's in his cell.
I'm just saying he is charged with more crimes against Lara Bingle.
Okay. But so far, Lara, innocent.
Innocent. The following year, she is dating rugby player Danny Cipriani. Photos of them holidaying in Bora Bora appear in a women's magazine.
Lovely. Wonder if she'll find Kim's ring.
Sorry,
Kim's earring. Was it Kim's earring?
Yeah, in Bora Bora, yeah.
She lost it and she cried. And then Courtney said,
Kim, there are people that are dying.
Yes.
So the problem is that photos of them holidaying appear in a magazine, and that was organised by Bingle.
Okay. Did she look good?
Yeah, of course she does. But she later admitted that Cipriani dumped her while the magazine was still on shelves. Because I think he was a bit like, why'd you...
That's so embarrassing.
Why did you... And she's like, I didn't. And it's like, he did.
That's fine. I don't think that's a crime. I think it's funny.
You called the paparazzi. I'm into it because I think what she did was she was on holiday and she looked good in a cozy and he wasn't taking good quality photos of her.
Oh my God, I want to do
So
that.
she's like, Paps, come on.
His angle ain't right.
No, he's not getting it. After a string of incredibly public relationships, Lara then met Sam Worthington of Avatar fame in 2013.
Strong prey on the weak. It's just the way things are.
And they've been very private about their relationship. No one knew when they got married. They didn't really announce the birth of their children. It is all incredibly classy. But I would say in terms of previous relationships, Lara was very young and was exploited by naughty men who were cheating on their wives and also being Michael Clarke.
I agree.
So I do not hold her accountable for any of that. She was simply having fun. Being naked at Bondi. In April 2012, photos are released of Lara Bingle being naked on her balcony in Bondi, taken by a member of the paparazzi on the promenade several hundred metres from her apartment. On Anzac Day, this freelancer snaps her naked, opening the curtains of her flat. Now, she insists that she remained inside her own bedroom, but the photographer was 95% certain she stepped onto the balcony. And I
don't
care. No. I think that makes a difference.
No, but even if it like technically makes a difference in like the paparazzi rule book, stop photographing people naked in or around their home.
Yeah, no, that's very, very valid. But I think the paparazzi guy, I mean, you're not even 100% sure.
No, I'm 95% sure I didn't break the law.
So don't.
You want to see the pictures? No, we don't want to see the pictures.
No one wants to see them. Bingle told Kyle and Jackie O, it's a complete violation of privacy. I was so unaware of it. There should be a law against someone shooting inside your house. It's just not right. I wouldn't be walking around nude on the balcony. I'm so embarrassed. Now, Darren Lyons was the guy trying to sell the photos to media.
Okay.
And he was a friend of Lara's.
Shit friend.
And he insisted he sent a contact sheet of the nude photos to Bingle's manager, Hermione Underwood.
Remember Hermione? She was in Being Lara Bingle.
Yeah. And he said, I sent them to Hermione before they went on sale. Underwood and Bingle said they only asked for the contact sheet after being told of its existence by media contacts.
I get that.
And the contact sheet was briefly shown on Nine's A Current Affair, prompting Bingle to threaten legal action. So Bingle said, I am totally devastated and incredibly upset by what has happened. Darren was my friend and I feel betrayed. This has been a nightmare for me. Then this Darren Lyons tries to sue Nine to get them to pay him for showing the images on television.
Oh my God.
Because he's like, but I was going to sell them. And Nine was like, no, our job is to expose grubs who think it's okay to take photos of naked women through bedroom
but didn't
windows.
Nine share?
Yes, and my question is, but Nine, you showed those images on the TV.
These are the images Lara doesn't want you to see.
No, exactly. And they go, here.
These should never have been taken because people should never look at them.
No.
See?
Do you want us to zoom in?
See? She's naked. You shouldn't photograph people naked in their home.
It's
See?
incredibly inappropriate.
She's in her home.
And
See?
These should never be sold. Only shown for free by us on national television. There were so many opinions at the time that were like, well, maybe she didn't consent to those photos, but she has invited the paparazzi into her life and she knows photographers are always watching.
No.
And I'm not into that because I'm like, I think about this a lot because I live on a main road and I have given up.
Yeah.
Generally in life, but specifically with my own privacy.
Yeah.
So if I come out of the shower, whatever, I'm just walking around and my thought is if someone on the bus sees me,
they'll forget by the time that I'm forgettable.
They'll forget.
Yeah.
And honestly, in my current state, they'll think,
you know, that might be a crime. You flashing the bus passengers is actually a crime.
True. So I do get that when you live somewhere near a main road, you do a bit of a dart.
Yeah, you do dart. You do dart.
And because you assume no one's going to be looking at that.
There's not going to be a long
moment.
lens camera looking at this. No one wants this.
No. So I can understand even if you were Lara Bingle, you would be thinking, oh, I can go to the glass windows on my balcony naked and no one's going to photograph me.
Her crime is not bringing a change of clothes into the bathroom and needing to grab them.
Which,
been there.
It's a lazy girl thing. We get it. There were other opinions saying this is the 4th time nude photos have surfaced of her publicly because there had been the Brendan Favola thing and there had been like...
Yeah, but she's also the woman in Australia that people would most want the naked photos of. So the fact that people in contact with her are selling them is almost unsurprising. It's like gross and bad, but it's unsurprising.
Yeah. And it's also like, but she's a model. So another set of the...
It's like no one's, like, with all due respect, like no one is leaking naked photos of Fatty Borden.
Yeah.
Because it's just not a market.
No, absolutely not. Or like Kyle Sandilands.
No.
Although that would probably stir some interest. But, I mean, she's a model. It's called objectification. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
That's what I say to that.
Great.
Jessie, Being Lara Bingle. Being Lara Bingle was an Australian reality television series that premiered on 12th of June 2012 on Network 10.
Get to know the real Lara Bingle in 10's new series.
Have you looked up its Rotten Tomato? Like, what does the internet think of it?
Oh, it thinks it wasn't very good.
No, because I would actually give it 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've looked it up on IMDb. It is out of 10.
Oh.
And it does have a 2.7 rating. I mean, I'd give it closer to a 10. Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, 2.7. I mean, that's not even a pass mark, is it?
No. No. It went for one-time season. It was not renewed. And it starred Lara Bingle, her best friend and former manager, Hermione Underwood, and her brother Josh.
I remember Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Josh had sex in her bed.
With Hermione, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember there was a whole plot line about getting fake tan on the sheets.
And my sheets were covered in tan.
Okay, your sheets were dirty before you left. No one slept in anyone's beds.
Please. I don't have fake tan. I don't use fake tan. I've never used fake tan.
Really?
My skin is real.
El Natural, and
I
my
beg to
sheets
differ
don't
with
go
that.
brown.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, that wasn't with Hermione. That was with another girl. But the bullshit there was that Lara was like, there's fake tan on my sheets and I don't fake tan.
I've never fake tanned.
Lara.
You liar!
Come on.
You
the
do.
base.
You do fake tan. That's okay. Pedestrian TV described her vibe on the show as actually super funny and a bit of a fuckwit. I totally agree. Highlights included the time Lara committed a crime for the lols. If Lara had a nemesis in her reality TV show, it was definitely her driver's license.
You were going to say the police. Her nemesis was the police force.
Mostly because she didn't have one, which caused problems, especially when she got pulled over and was asked to present her driver's license. You see, she was a little bit driving in a bus lane illegally, to which I actually say, unlucky, because I actually know where she was driving.
Yeah.
And you could argue, if you were smart enough, that you were just turning left.
Oh, she should have said she was just turning
But
left.
instead, she clearly got flustered because she went, I don't have a license.
Police run out my license.
So she gets stopped by a plainclothes policeman.
Oh, okay, that's a trick.
When they check her license, Lara began audibly praying.
That's a giveaway when someone gets out their rosary beads and they're like, Hail Mary.
Which made her friend Hermione nervous.
Yeah.
She decided to ask Lara if everything was okay, to which Lara replied, I'm pretty sure I have a license. Spoiler, Lara did not have a license. She'd lost a bunch of points. There was outstanding parking fines, etc.
You've got to really not pay a parking fine to lose a license over that. Yeah.
But it seemed like the kind of thing she could have paid for given she was driving a $200,000 car.
I can't imagine how annoying it would be to own a $200,000 car and not have a license.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, come on, it's so pretty. She took some time to reflect and concluded that all this mess was definitely the car's fault and she should be getting a new one. She did keep being like, I can't drive this car. And it's like, you can't drive you can't drive anything. It's your license that's suspended. It was
this bloody car. Honey. I wish that was the case. You lose your license in your car and you're like, fine, I'll get a Mazda.
I'll get a different car. Then there was Grandma Norma reacting to the nude photo incident.
Loved Grandma Norma.
In a surprising turn of events, Grandma Norma didn't like it when Lara's nude photos were leaked and broadcast on Grandma Norma's favourite show, A Current Affair. It was Hermione who broke the news about the photos, which had been taken by
Grandma Norma
paparazzi.
didn't need to know.
No, and that's the thing. She wouldn't have known had A Current Affair not been like...
Yeah.
So bad. So Hermione told Grandma Norma and Lara wasn't too fussed. She just kept saying, I didn't realise how voluptuous I was. Geez, I've really got an ass, haven't I?
Yeah, like a definite plot line was Lara thinking she was fat.
Oh,
which was very 2012.
And was very annoying,
Yeah.
her constantly trying to lose weight.
Oh, yeah, remember her, not a colonoscopy. What's the thing where they get all the...
I've got it.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's coming
back.
It's coming
back.
But Grandma was upset.
Lara, this is Nan. What's this big deal you posing nude on the front of your apartment there? What in the hell are you thinking of? Don't you think you've had enough trouble in your life?
She said, Pop and I are just sitting here.
Oh, shit.
Watching A Current Affair. What's this about you posing nude on the front of your apartment there? No, she wasn't posing. And
not
she
in
said,
front of Pop.
I don't know what's got into your mind. You've just gone backwards, love. You'll never, ever do any bloody good.
Grandma Norma.
That's really harsh.
Yeah.
And
I
not
hope they've
fair.
made up.
I know. And I hope Lara sat down and went, so...
Let's
Channel
talk about
9
image-based abuse,
Yeah,
Grandma
Channel
Norma.
9 is sexist and exploitative of me.
Yeah.
Particularly. Lara's complicated relationship with meat pies.
Yeah.
One of the real joys of Lara's life was tucking into a meat pie with Grandma.
Norma, yeah.
And maybe some hot chips.
Yeah.
But Lara couldn't eat unlimited meat pies because she was a model.
Yes. That was a real, if the show had a complication, it was like, speaking of nemesis, I think meat pie and chips was one of them.
Yeah. And look, it was relatable because you went, I do love a good meat pie, but I know I shouldn't have one for every meal. And that's how I relate to Lara Bingle.
Yeah.
But it was also like, just eat your fucking pie. Just eat your pie.
Just eat a pie. It's fine.
Just eat a pie. We don't need this toxic
culture.
Diet
Just
culture.
eat a pie, yeah.
There was the time Lara got a colonoscopy and no one can remember why.
I'll tell you why. It was all the pies.
No, maybe it was to do with the pies. But Lara made Hermione come with her to get a colonoscopy and it was all filmed.
Yeah.
And
that
she
was the
said-
first colonoscopy I saw.
Yeah.
On television. It was trailblazing.
There was footage of her like covered in a blanket sitting on the toilet pooing.
Yeah.
Yelling, my ass feels like it's on fire.
Yeah.
Like lava. She also got Hermione to perform ear candling on her.
Oh,
to
yeah, I remember that.
remove
Yeah.
excessive earwax. And
She was very
honestly-
much liked to get things out of her body on camera.
Then there was the time Josh Bingle and Hermione slept together and Lara didn't like it.
It's a lot for one season, honestly.
was-
They could have been 10.
But everybody says this was the storyline that was not true and was totally manufactured.
Yeah, they got desperate at like episode 6.
Yeah, they went, we've had Grandma Norma. You've had your colonoscopy. We need
Where to
some
go?
drama.
Where to go?
So she moved in with Josh, who was single in his 20s, and her best friend, Hermione, who was single and in her 20s. And it was always going to end in a fake storyline about a flirtation and some kind of sexual relationship, which didn't happen because Josh Bingle was the worst. Do you remember how
I
he
think
was
it's a
the
player.
worst? He was the worst.
And he was kind of mean to Lara?
Yeah, he was mean to everyone.
Okay, all right.
He was like a criminal. He kept being busted for drugs.
Really?
Yes. And it did say in a few reviews, who would have thought Lara was the brains of that family? But he literally said on it that he didn't like fat girls and dated skinny girls because they eat less.
Yeah,
He was
dick.
just an
Yeah.
absolute pig and not funny or charismatic, just a bit of a pig. Jess, it was so staged. The mother was acting the entire time. Everyone was.
Like, I'm not even Lara Bingle's mother.
No, Sharon. Jessie, being a naughty driver plus miscellaneous. We've heard a little bit about the driving issues, but they're just the tip of the iceberg. In 2012, a Sydney magistrate listed Bingle's traffic infringements, including at least 6 speeding offences that year. Bingle was on a 2-month driving ban when in May of that year, she and her black Range Rover, who she blames, had a traffic incident with a motorbike at a Bondi Beach
Oh, I don't like the
intersection.
sound of that.
The rider suffered a dislocated shoulder, but while others gathered to help, Bingle left the scene.
I hit a person with my car, and then I drove away.
I didn't know that.
Speaking about what happened, Lara's mum, Sharon, said it was absolute panic. She knew she shouldn't have been driving that car. She panicked.
Oh my God, she said it again.
That
She knew she shouldn't be driving that car. No. No.
At all.
She knew she shouldn't be driving. It's not the car's fault someone has to explain this to the Bingles.
The next day, she turned herself in. So Lara's mum says, she said, "Mum, I'm going to go to the police station." I said, "Yes, that's what you've got to do, Lara."
Good.
In court, she pleaded guilty to driving on a suspended licence, failing to give way, and not leaving her details after a crash. She was ordered off the road for another year, fined $3,500, and given an 18-month good behaviour bond.
Wow. Okay.
She said at the end of 2012, "I've come to the realisation that I'm not a good driver." That I'm not a good driver. At that time, she was riding a bicycle and a leopard print skateboard. She said, "I take responsibility for my mistakes and, my mishaps." But Jessie, the thing about the driving incidences is that they're not the only dopey / examples of bad judgment in her life. I think they're a symptom of a broader period of terrible judgment. Because on the morning that a Sydney court was hearing driving charges against her, she was on morning radio on Mix 106.5 playing a game called Will Lara Lick It? And one part of it was...
She did hit rock bottom, and actually I think that was it. Before Worthington, she hit rock bottom, and Will Lara Lick It might be it.
Yeah. So she licked a 9-volt battery and she said it doesn't do anything. And then after a moment...
Is that fine?
She said, oh, yeah, oh, my God, it gives me like a shock.
Really? That's actually really interesting.
Yeah. A few days earlier, she had posted a picture on Instagram of 2 Guatemalan children smoking cigarettes with the comment, poverty-stricken but still cool as fuck. In a hastily released statement, her publicity agency explained that in essence, Lara felt the imagery was beautiful, but on reflection and understanding of people's feedback and comments, Lara decided to pull the image down.
Cool.
Because you had 2 Guatemalan children smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, I don't think
and that's really odd.
Yeah.
So she just made some bad decisions, many of them in cars she was not meant to be driving.
No, Claire. In the car she wasn't meant to be driving.
Like, the question I have about the motorcyclist is that in a lot of reports, it says it was a traffic incident with a motorbike. But then she pleaded guilty to not leaving her details after a crash.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a euphemism. Like it sounds like she hit a...
Did she hit the motorcyclist?
I think so.
And then to drive off.
That's bad.
Naughty, naughty.
Damn it, if I'd hit him in another car, I'd stop. But not this one.
But not this one. Not allowed to drive this one. Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate, is what she said. Like, dislocated shoulder. It's not okay. Jessie, it's time for charges and sentences.
I've checked this and I've had to check it a million times for my own life. And it's one of my often quoted sayings is being a bad driver isn't a crime. No one ever says you got to be a good driver, right? Like when you do the thing, it's like I know I'm not a great driver, but I'm not a dangerous driver, right?
Do you break road rules?
Occasionally, but because
that does make you a bad driver.
But
and a criminal.
More so parking tickets, which again, bad, not dangerous, except in a bus lane.
No. What I will say about parking tickets, parking in a disabled zone.
Oh, no.
Like,
I would never.
Can't.
What I call a parking ticket is what is a victimless crime.
Okay, when you've just overstayed your welcome.
Yeah, I've overstayed.
Well, I mean, it's meant to be for the greater good of the community that other people can park
Victimless. But what I'm saying about Lara is that hitting someone and dislocating their shoulder, that is a crime.
It is. The problem is, are we qualified to prosecute that crime?
Well, she did go to court.
Prosecuted? She was found guilty.
And she was found guilty, right? But my sentence, and she was sentenced. So part of me is like, she served her sentence. But there is another part of that sentence that we haven't acknowledged, which is that when she hit rock bottom, which was licking the battery in the courtroom.
Yeah. No, not in the courtroom.
No, but that was like same kind of day.
Yeah,
when you've licked a battery and you're in court for hitting a motorcyclist, it's not a good day. And you've gone, all right, let's reassess. She looked in the mirror that day and she went, Lara, that car is bad news.
Yeah.
So what I need to do is get rich enough to have a driver.
Yeah.
And then she met Sam Worthington.
Yeah.
And since then, she invented the bass. She's gone real classy. All of that, I think, is a bid to have a driver because she's been out of trouble.
We haven't heard anything about traffic incidents.
Nothing. Not a single thing.
We should look up. I think she's in LA or New York. We should have a look at
traffic incidents. Yeah.
No.
So I think that was her ultimate sentence, and I think that she served it. She went, you got to look in the mirror, work out how to get out of this. She had a driver, and now I see an innocent woman doing her best and having a driver as her rehab.
Okay.
What's your charge?
My charge is also to do with driving as a metaphor.
Oh, wow.
Driving as a metaphor for chaos, naughtiness,
yep,
and otherwise not paying attention and making bad decisions.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, I don't know how to say this without it being kind of rude, but the fact that she's gone classy now.
Yeah.
I think, come on, come back.
Come back. That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah.
They say, where did Lara Bingle go?
Yeah, because it's like, so now you're Lara Worthington, but what if I still need to know
how many pies you had this week?
Yeah.
And how your colonoscopies are going.
Like, you put that out there.
Where's Grandma Norma?
And I enjoyed it so profoundly and purely.
You invited me.
Yeah.
To the party. I'm loving it. And then you kicked me out.
Still follow Hermione on Instagram. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm part of your world.
I bet. So you want to be invited back to the party?
Yeah.
Just for a glimpse.
I think we need
a party at Luna Park.
No.
Okay.
Being Lara Bingle season 2.
Yeah. She'd want to call it Being Lara Worthington, but I don't want to watch that.
No, actually, no, it can be Being Lara Worthington, but I need her to move back to Bondi because I need a bogan element.
Yeah. Yeah, go back to Luna Park.
The boganness of it all was what we loved.
Yeah.
So we can't have her in America in bloody
doing a show.
High fashion.
No.
No, I want you back on Bondi Beach.
Yeah.
Interacting with...
Go to Hungry Jack's.
Yeah. Interacting with Bondi lifeguards, Bondi vet, all the personalities.
Yeah.
And I want to see how you've really evolved.
Love it.
When you come back and when the camera's on you.
Yeah. We'll see the real Lara.
And will you lick a battery?
Always.
Though, if you're asked. Because she's really good friends with Kyle.
Yeah.
Sandilands. And
He's
so
got
I
a
think,
soft spot for Lara, always has.
I think he could do some great promo for the show.
Yeah.
And I just think now's the time.
Agree. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Cancelled. If you have any Lazy Girl stories, please send them through to podcast@mamamia.com.au. The executive producer of Cancelled is Talissa Bazaz, with audio editing by Tom Lyon, and we'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye.